Okay, United Souls of Awareness. And maybe you guys can start off telling me a little bit about what happened in the beginning here, how you guys all got together and got started.
Anyone?
Well, I met Kevin working at a internet lounge. My office was a recording studio up the street, and I would come down and I would check out the lounge, get on the internet, and play a few internet games and stuff like that with interacting with people. It was cool. And that's how we hooked up. I found out Kevin was an artist, and we just started kind of hanging out. I eventually went to his apartment and kicked it at his apartment, and I met Jordan. And then a couple of years later, I met Cam. And then when the walk started, I met Jonathan.
All right.
I've known Cam since high school. It's my old high school buddy right here. And then ended up meeting Jordan, meeting Jordan doing a production job. And I made that connection, and when the walk started, you know. So,
The thing when we all got together, we were all in that independent kind of a format where we were all using our laptops and our computers to record our music, you know, working with beats from other friends, and then make little short films. And we were trying to come up with a way to get it all together, expand that type of thing, and, you know, be able to share it with a lot of people on a broad network type of idea. And that's where we started kind of coming up with the ideas for the walk, and kind of really started to formulate, you know, where we wanted to go, kind of, and how we could actually help, you know, other people, you know, finish their artwork and their music, and kind of also try to share it on a, you know, on a mass scale.
Yeah, basically met Kevin and Jordan working production. We all worked like, you know, television production, and became good friends, and started talking to Kevin about the walk, and Derek. I met Derek around the same time, because he was over at the where they used to live, the apartments they used to live in. Like Jonathan said, you know, my old buddy from high school, and I told him about it, you know, about 10 days before we left. He was, you know, he's ready to go.
In 10 minutes of conversation, I said, you know what, I gotta go. It's time to go.
That's how it works. That's great.
Yeah, and we all end up working together on production jobs at some point in time. So we kind of all work together, and just, you know, knowing how to stay on a production schedule kind of thing. So
sure.
You know.
Yeah. Were there some more you guys in the beginning, or was this pretty much the solid group from the get-go?
Yeah, there was one other guy that came out, and he made it with us to Vegas, and there was another group. They were a family from Venice Beach that were traveling around their bus. They were another driver that was kind of met up with us a couple times, and they've taken a break and gone back and stuff like that. And I don't think they're going to be coming back out on the walk. But we've met a lot of people along the way too that'll probably be coming out. Oh, I'll walk with you for a week, you know, when you get to my town, or because we meet in every little city. We'll meet people from cities that we're going to be at, you know, in the future, and they're like, oh, you have a place to stay, you know, places you can play, because like I said, we also all are musicians, so we, you know, trying to play shows and, you know, showcase artwork as we travel, and so it's been.
And when we get to Chicago, my dad said he's going to walk with us.
Is that right?
That's through Chicago, so that should be good.
That's cool. So was there sort of a goal in the beginning? Like, was it sort of a thing where you say, you know, we just want to go sort of live a different kind of life for a while, or was it kind of thing where you want to sort of achieve something, or you want to sort of get a message out? Was it a bit more goal oriented, or what was it?
It's actually kind of a combination of all that you said there, because at the same time we're doing this walk, it's for us, you know. At the same time, we're trying to also talk to people and give other people that spark that we had in the beginning. But yes, it's definitely like an experience for us to go through, and just to look back on, you know, in life, and
build as artists.
Yeah, build as artists.
It's like self-exploration, you know what I'm saying? So.
We're totally enlightening ourselves too, you know. We're learning things about ourselves. We're open to discuss things, you know. We have our ins and outs, but for the most part, it's been really good, a really good learning experience for all of us, you know, to interact with each other and to be so close with people, you know. And the one good thing that keeps it all together is that we all have a goal, and we have basically the same goal, you know. Information, we want to learn more, we want to teach whatever we can, we want to meet as many people as we can, because we don't want to be conditioned to the little box that we sit in front of a lot of times that tells us that there are bad people out there, watch out, and this is all they're showing us. They're telling us that this is it, you know. don't walk.
Don't go outside.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
outside.
Yeah.
Stay in your house.
Yeah.
You know, get on your computer, order stuff
Television,
from your phone.
yeah.
You know, they want you to stay there, but we
Stay
want
home.
to get out.
We're not staying home. This is our home.
Right.
The world is our home.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Especially in the West, you know, it's what they call Western sprawl. You sort of have to drive everywhere, and people aren't connected to walking at all. You know?
Exactly, and that's exactly a good point because a lot of people they're just dumbfounded. Like, wait,
Why?
why would you even do
Drive.
that?
Just
Drive.
drive.
You have cars, but it's
Yeah.
you know that's the point. You know, like
Yeah.
stuff goes by too fast in a car. You know.
Right.
We missed a lot of connections. Wouldn't have met as many people if we weren't able to just stop and walk.
Yeah, stopping at little gas stations,
Yeah.
Quickie Marts. Like
Yeah.
he ran into someone the other week that had a whole bunch of like Alex Jones CDs and was just giving us
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That, we're like, oh, that's cool, but it's just like all the different little groups and stuff as you go around, just little diners and little bowling alleys and weird little spots in the travel. Just like let's just stop in here.
A lot
and
of
get some,
interesting places, man, for sure.
Yeah. Even the people, some people that are driving by, you know, see us walking, will stop and we'll have a conversation with them. And would have never had, you know, you're not gonna be able to yell across your car to someone else's car and have a conversation, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, those little instances are always good, you know, because it's just like a surprise to us, you know.
Yeah, it just goes to prove that, like, you know, once you set yourself to a certain goal and, you know, you stay to it, everything kind of falls into place. Like, if we hadn't been walking, obviously, I mean, we wouldn't be right here having, you know, this conversation right now, and we wouldn't, you know, be able to meet David Icke, and, you know, it just goes to show everything has a purpose, you know, everything falls together once you focus on that.
It really encourages our creativity also, you know. I'm a screenwriter. Jonathan is a director, and he's really good with edits and shooting and camera work and stuff like that. Cam is a brilliant singer. If you hear this guy sing, man, you'll be, I mean, if you... And Jordan is a great singer and rapper and poet, and he can move a crowd, you know. And Kevin is like an amazing artist. He's got some really good works. A lot of the business card is basically his work, and on both sides actually. And he's got some really cool stuff. And he created the logo. He basically spearheaded this entire thing several years before, and it has just kind of respawned itself. And you know, they invited me along, you know, because I saw Cam and Kevin really kind of working it out, and you know, I was interjecting with ideas and stuff like that, but I felt like I was kind of like it wasn't my place, and then it was my place, you know. It's like kind of like what David was talking about the whole Buddha thing. You don't know you're Buddha, you just are, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And these guys invited me along, and I'm totally over 30. I'm 39 actually.
Yeah.
So just to be walking with these guys and learning from them and learning from all the other people, stepping out of that whole conditioned box. I was never in that box, you know, because I've always questioned things. I've always questioned like religion and stuff like that. Everyone's fighting against each other. And I was like, wow, these guys are going to do something. They're going to walk. And, you know, the walking part wasn't the most appealing to it, you know, but it was the meeting people, you know, interacting with new people, letting people know I want to be an icon for my race, to be able to walk across the country and to let people see that everybody is not what you see on television. We're not all like that, you know. We are different. We are individuals, and we are spiritual, you know, and we're coming about, you know, really good. It's been really, really a blessing to know these guys. It's been very good.
Yeah. And yeah, you were talking a little bit about sort of a conditioned perception and a conditioned awareness, and that was one of the things I wanted to ask you guys. What's the effect of the walk been on that sort of transformation that, you know, lots of mystical traditions talk about, from going from a conditioned awareness to sort of an unconditioned or just sort of universal awareness, where you're just experiencing things in a really clean and pure way? Have you guys felt anything?
I haven't noticed the difference.
You haven't noticed a difference
I
yet?
mean, it's there, but, you know, like, I haven't even thought about what was before, you know. It's just, you just are in the moment. And so, like, the things that come at you are just, like, just accept it as is, you know. Like, I haven't even really thought about what I left behind or what,
Yeah.
you know, sacrificed to be here. It's just kind of like, it's just now, you know. So that's just me personally.
You know, I definitely had, like, as far as, like, when I lived in Los Angeles, there was a lot more things that were, you know, I was conditioned to that were, you know, my money problems and trying to worry about paying my phone bills and stuff like that. But since I've been on the road, I haven't even cared about any of that stuff, you know. Just like, if I don't have money, you know, I'm not worried about it as much as I would have been, like, in that condition type of thing, just because I feel more free to be able to, you know, talk and meet people and just kind of like where I can get, you know, if I need something, there's always a path or something you can go down. It's always been, we've been kind of leading ourselves in those directions where someone will offer us a bunch of food, you know, when we're hungry and have no money, you know. When in LA, I'd just be frustrated, you know, because I'm stuck in, you know, but it's definitely opened up a lot more for me personally since we've been walking the path and the different things that you're thinking about in your head, like questions that you're asking, that people will then come, you know, answer that almost. So, you know, I start having conversations.
Yeah,
we'll be talking about movies, and then we'll meet some guy on the side of the road that'll come back to the campsite, and he'll start talking about that same movie and give us another little insight of different things that we hadn't thought about.
Sounds fun. Sounds great.
It's amazing, the whole connection. You know, like sometimes we interact with a little game that we play. It's just kind of like a, you know, numbers game where we think of a number between a certain area, you know, and a lot of the times we're really close, you know, and that just kind of like encourages the connection that we have, spiritually, mentally, the whole energy that we have between us. You know, we've been together long enough that we are getting closer, you know, and we realize that, you know, and man, it's, like I said, again, it's been good, you know, it's a lot of interesting people that we've met across, you know. It hasn't been any real negative. I mean, we've been stopped by the police and stuff like that, but they've been understanding, which is surprising because, you know, I grew up in LA, and it's like, you know, there's not too many understanding cops in LA, you know. But they're very understanding. You know, we've had a few aggressive cops, but eventually they just let us go on our way. And you know, just the experience of the different weather and the environment, the altitudes and stuff like that, has been really joyful. And animals and stuff like that have been.
Seen some animals on the way.
Oh man, lots of pictures. Got lots of stuff on the website, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Too many animals to name. I mean, the tarantula we saw last night.
That's right.
And we think we might have ran into a rattlesnake, but we
never
saw it.
You
heard
it. I know the sound.
Yeah, but
that was a rattlesnake.
It definitely stopped everywhere.
Everywhere stopped.
Except for the dog Skell. She kept going
like,
to it. So we had to pull her out of
You
there.
just who this is?
I think just the you know, what kind of like this whole weekend has been, you know, talking about, and like what I felt gotten out of it personally, it's just like the self-manifestation of getting out, you know, or getting back what you reflect, you know, and that I've been noticing that a lot lately, and at least the last couple of weeks of our walk, just like what we, you know, like Kevin was talking about, once we put that energy out there, it, you know, it's so easy to be received by others, and in turn, you know, it comes back to you, you know, and it's like amazing just to see the actual, you know, reactions. You know?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So, you know, when you strike a key on a violin, an octave above will resonate, like even if you didn't strike it, right? A lot of people are saying this is similar with sort of consciousness in a way, right? If you're sort of on, especially if 5 of you guys are all connected in that same way, I was wondering, what's the effect going to be when you guys come across new people and you're meeting new people? If you sort of basically, what kind of people are you attracting?
Well, man, I mean, we've been in a few places, and in Vegas especially, like, there was a couple of groups of people that came up to us and were like, you know, we don't meet people like you here, you know, like we didn't know people like you even existed. Or, you know,
that's so cool, right?
And in turn, it's kind of like sparked that within them to, you know, motivate them to do whatever it is, you know, they wanted to do in their lives, you know, like we wanted to get up and walk, so we did it. And so, you know, there's been a couple of groups that have completely, like, you know, quit their jobs and you know, I don't know if they got the whole full RV and started traveling yet, but like, they got the quit their jobs part down.
It's like it's like we're building a spiritual network of
That's
people.
what it seems like.
They're all on the same page that we're on, and whatever we think about, whatever we want, all we have to do is believe that we'll have it, and we'll have it. It's been like immediate a lot of times, you know. And then there are
Yeah.
other people out there that we have connected with, that we're still connected with, that are with us on these thoughts, you know. The
Yeah,
more-
that's the cool. Yeah, once you make those connections, still being able to pick up on them, and you know, you're thinking about some people that we met,
Yeah.
and they call, or then you check your
Right.
email, and they're writing, "Where are you guys?" You know, so it's definitely the connections that we've been making have been pretty solid. Like
There
to
was that
keep in
one
mind.
girl that we haven't gotten in contact with, and I'm kind of worried. Her name is Mary, and we met her at Lake Kaula. So if Mary is out
Maybe if
there,
you're out there,
call us, because we're
let
worried
us know
about you.
you're all right.
She was the coolest girl from Austin, something like that. She's a very nice lady. She purchased her own RV, and she's just out traveling, freelance writing. And we haven't gotten in contact with her. So
I'm sure she's all right.
Yeah,
yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, yeah, there's nothing but good energy going out for her safety and well-being, but we just want to hear from her.
Gotcha.
You know, totally.
Gotcha. And how long you been walking so far?
Since
Since
April
April
1st.
1st.
April 1st,
Yeah.
huh?
Yesterday.
Yesterday was
Yes,
our
yeah, 3-month,
3-month
Oh,
anniversary.
wow, yeah, we didn't
That's good.
think about that.
And so you guys have a van that goes ahead away that carries all your equipment, some recording gear, stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're able to
Instruments.
still produce on the way, is that right?
Yeah.
Right,
Oh yeah,
exactly.
oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. We're making music all the time, and we're actually
Videos.
making videos, music
Movies.
videos, movies.
And when we get
We're in
like we
production
just had our first paying gig a few weeks back,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, where we
Yeah.
performed and we set up our own PA and everything, and you know we kind of can basically set up anywhere,
Yeah.
you know, even if it's out in the middle of the desert on the top of Cathedral Rock, or
Yeah, we've got a little
you know.
800 watt generator that we use.
Cool.
You know, it's pretty cool. We're trying to establish some type of solar energy or self-sustainable energy that we can use without having to pollute and stuff like that, because the generator that we have is spewing its own little
Gas.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that's
Whatever.
something we're trying to work towards too, you know. Obviously, we have to do what we can, what is,
Yeah.
accessible to us
No
right
doubt.
now at this
Limitations.
stage. But, that's one thing we are gradually trying to go more towards, the all natural, self-sustaining, maybe even some organic foods every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like we're out here to learn and to not only change within, but change the outer as well.
Yeah.
Mm. Now, what do you guys think has happened with regard to sort of the internal transformation? With regard to what do you guys enjoy most now? Have you been walking for a while and it's all of a sudden you appreciate new things and new things are important that weren't important before, or you know what I mean?
Well, taking care of your feet. That's,
Yeah.
that's like an important thing. You know, walking has become fun.
Yeah.
You know, because
That's
we
true.
can handle it, and we're actually going several days in a row, just walking with 15 to 20 miles, and that's been really good. Learning one another has been good. You know, interacting with each other, and having our conversations and meetings and stuff like that, and creating. I mean, us together creating. It's like we can't do any wrong. You know, it's
Right.
like we're creating all types of stuff, and it's been good, and that creativity, that juice, that spark is just now starting to kind of brighten and get a little bit more. We're humbling ourselves. That's been fun. That's one of the good things that I've seen. Everyone is becoming more humble and more less pride, strong, less ego, and more boom. Where whatever there is to do, we are all servants to our production, and that's been really nice.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we've come to appreciate, at least out in the wild, is how important a good jacket or sleeping bag may be when you're out in the cold, and how important a nice bag of ice is when you're out in the desert.
Yeah.
But as far as like on the main scope of things, it's like you do kind of just learn to appreciate the air and the starry nights and the moons and the cycles, and you start definitely getting more grounded to like the actual like changing elements and environments you go through. So
Yeah, and really realizing your place in as a part of it rather than just like a locked out outside force or something like that. You really get to get in the flow of those type of things, especially, when you're just kind of walking and everything's just kind of, circulating around. You kind of just become that whole environment, and kind of, even like when you're driving for long periods of time, you're kind of just driving, you kind of zone out or something like that, and you're thinking, you're still driving, but it's like that with walking too. You kind of just like take a step back and you can kind of just like take the whole environment in.
A lot of times that's my favorite times, like when we're all walking, or I kind of walk ahead and it's just my time, like I'm out here in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And it's just me, it's us, but it's just me, my mind, and whatever else is around, whether it's the stars at night or just the sun or something. It's just time to yourself.
It's very meditative.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like when we first started, like everybody kind of wanted to drive, I'll drive today. But now it's like, no, I don't want to drive.
Hard to find who wants to drive now.
And especially if we're sitting in one spot for too long, it's like, we got to just get up and walk,
Yeah. Yeah, we do get restless. It has come to that point where, if we stay in an area too long, there can be a little bit of frustration because we want to move. We want to move on.
Progress.
A lot of places we've been able to hang out in, and there's been, if we stay there a little longer, we've gotten an interview on a radio station and stuff like that, and we were able to go to the First Fridays, the art exhibit, and we met people there.
Different odd jobs.
So, sometimes it's okay to just hang out a little bit. But most of the time, we just want to really accomplish the goal by getting across.
Yeah.
That's really the main thing that we're really focusing on right now. Meeting with new people, and hopefully, if everything goes right, we can open schools, and we can start teaching kids and any artists, about all aspects of what their art form the possibilities of their art form, and where it can go.
Encouragement, because when we were coming up through school, when I was in high school, and just a lot of the art programs and a lot of the music programs just kind of, getting smaller and smaller, dwindling down, forcing children to, choose their path one way or the other. But still now with, like we were saying, just with our technology and with our own cameras, we can really put together some nice, productions and really share it on a worldwide basis, through the internet and stuff. It's a pretty amazing tool right now for artists to take advantage of, because these are things that, changing times very fast. Things are, going through many different stages. So, that's not going to be around for us all the time either. So we really need to take advantage of these things now, and really, that's what kind of was the perfect time for the walk, because we've been talking about it for a while, but just technological wise, how everything was going, it's just, it was like the perfect timing to, like, when we headed off, and then even when we're done, hopefully we'll really be able to develop and build before, we move into the next, another phase of expression and different things like that. So,
So if there comes a day when you guys stop walking and you start living in maybe a city or something like that, what kind of things do you think you might be able to take from this and incorporate into a more normal life to sort of, just enhance the quality of life a little bit, and have a little more connection, stuff like that?
There's so much to learn. It's hard to answer that question really, because we haven't learned everything yet.
That's not over.
So far, I think patience and self-awareness is something that I can take back, and I'm pretty sure that we all can take it back. Exercise, conditioning, staying in shape, being able to take a 15-mile walk, whenever you want to, without any problems or anything like that. That's something that I would like to teach my kids, stay in shape, exercise, and really get into it.
If nothing else, just, so far taking with probably just be like, if there's something to do, just do it, just get up and do it. Like there's something, you've been wanting to, pick your weeds, for the last couple of weeks and you haven't gotten around to it. Just, get up and do it. Simple things like, trash, on the table or something, just get up and do it. And that's how simple it can be, just taking the initiative.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I will probably be able to take back with me is that for the longest I've been a TV head. I watched television.
Right.
I used to watch television every day and all day, sometimes just always on television, and I felt that need, like I needed to watch certain shows and I needed to be there. And for this walk, I've kind of cold turkey and not really had too much television, and it hasn't really been that big of an issue. I haven't really been thinking about it, and I think that that's definitely a major help, because I noticed myself sitting for hours, not doing anything but watching television, and those in 1 hour, there's so many things that I could be doing, and for 2 or 3, there's just all this production that could have happened that I'm now seeing is happening now that I'm focused on my own entertainment, my internal entertainment that I want to manifest,
Yeah, we'll make the movie that he wants to watch.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
there was one
That's
time
right.
you were asleep and you were mumbling 7 o'clock Jeopardy.
Oh man, that was funny. That was good.
We have cut a lot of TV, but we still managed to watch the finals.
The finals.
Yeah, we watched the NBA finals. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the World Cup too,
Yeah.
At least try to keep up with it in the paper and stuff.
Yeah.
We like sports. I mean, I really love sports.
Yeah.
I realize that sometimes sports seems like it's more staged. It's more like a movie than it is a real game, and these guys are just actors getting paid big money, and the referee is basically the guy who's like in control of everything because he can call all the calls,
Yeah.
and whoever they want to win, they can win, so I'm kind of pushing away from the whole sports thing or organized sports. I'd rather go watch the little league guys play, because that's going to be more real than what you see in the big Staples Centers and stuff like that. Not to put any of those guys down, but it just seems like it's more choreographed nowadays.
There's even still such a division, where it's just like people are your hometown where you grew up in. That's who
Yeah,
that's
root
like
for,
your
It's
team,
Same thing with a lot of different principles where people just get, they never get outside to even check out any other team. It's just like
territorial
that's how
pride.
my
Lakers.
family it's like,
Lakers all the way.
What did you say, John?
Lakers forever? No.
I think
just
there's something to be said about the deep, primal, competitive nature that, drives a lot of sports fans, and sports athletes. And, that could maybe be like possibly like a negative thing, but like overall, like as far as like the teamwork's like and coming together as a team, like that's kind of what I take out of sport a lot, I try to incorporate that into like what we're doing now, like even though we're not competing with anybody, we still are a team, so.
Gotcha.
We're 5 men too. Some of us can dunk.
That's right.
With the trampoline.
So I wanted to ask one last question, and that's that if you spend time watching television, you pretty much get a distinct impression about our generation, and that's why I think so many people are so surprised to meet people like you guys, right? So what I want to ask is, what has your impression been of young people all across the country, or this part of the country so far? Have you sort of got an impression about, hey, there's more going on than it seems? Or
I think and they know it too. They're hungry for
that's what I see too.
For information, and because there's been a lack of, I don't know whether it's just trust or whatever as far as like what they're seeing and what's going on in the world around them, but there's definitely a lot of young people are have ideas and have and are hungry for this type of information and just need help directing kind of where they can get started, where they could start at least answering some of the first initial questions that they might have and stuff like that, and that's what one of our main things is too, just trying to help people that do have questions. We have a lot of different information and just stuff to get them started on a journey of reading or books to check out depending on because we have a small library in our van to let people know what's going on and kind of just check out different things and but I think people are definitely hungry for it now. A lot of the young people are starting to wake up and starting to and it's hard for them too because they talk with their families about it, and there is a big gap now because the generations and the gaps in between there's been a lot of just misunderstandings and miscommunications, but I think if we kind of try to get together more and offer more help from younger people to younger people, I think that's a
a lot of the young people if it was like what the television or what the media as making it seem like, then the majority of all the young people that we would have been meeting would have been like, "What are you talking about? Get out of here! This is stupid." Whereas it's been, "What? Are you serious? That's amazing. I want to do it, or I wish I could do it, or I like that, you know." And you know, it's just not what they make it seem like, because they're all the way into just doing something like this, doing something different, you know, getting their thing out there just like we're doing.
Yeah, I've been surprised that you know, a lot of the younger people that I meet have been they already know about it. They just don't know who to tell, you know what I mean? And they're waiting for someone to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, the parents aren't ready for it. Most of the parents are kind of like, well, you know, everything is okay right now. I'm comfortable. So let's not cause any waves, you know. But these kids are really wanting to make waves so the questions can be answered. They're tired of asking the question without the answer coming. And they're waiting for someone to ask. You know, they're waiting for someone to have a conversation. When we were at Joshua Tree, this one kid, Mark, I gave him a DVD of the loose change thing. And he was just like, he was totally like, the day before he was thinking, man, that just didn't seem so real, you know, just the whole 9/11 thing and all of that stuff. And he said it didn't seem real. It seemed like it was like some kind of movie. You know,
he was from New York too, right?
He was from somewhere near New York on the East Coast, Philadelphia or somewhere. I think he was actually from the same place that Kevin is from.
Oh, right.
And he was like, yeah, because when I was watching it on television, it just seemed like it was, you know, like War of the Worlds type of thing, you know, as opposed to this is really happening, you know. And I mean, just the way the buildings kind of collapsed, it was like, you know, he was, wow, you know, I really want to know, what is the truth? I mean, will we ever know the truth, you know? There are so many questions that I have to ask. You know, I don't know anything as fact. All I know is that I am totally curious in regards to what's going on in our world today. You know, there's a lot of information out there, and I want to learn it all, and I'm sure that we all are on that same page. We just want to ask the right people, and hopefully they'll be honest with us, you know, because that's really important, man. That's the state of our world, you know. If these things continue to happen, we're gonna I don't know what's going to happen. I just hope that these things don't continue to happen. Stop lying to the people and stuff like that, because, you know, we don't deserve it. I think we're smarter than that. You know, I think we're not the conditionable type of slaves. Don't chain us down. Open us up. Let us know what's going on. If there's another race on our planet, let us know. You know, we want to interact with those people too. You know, because I'm sure that they know we exist. So why not have us interact with them? Why not have like a people representative that can go in as a representative of the people, not just the government, but the people, you know? And as we walk across, you know, we meet people that are totally down with that idea, you know? We're pretty good guys, you know? We're likable.
Indeed, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I wanted to comment on the whole young generation and next generation. It's, you know, it's like, it seems like everybody, like Kevin was saying, like everyone is ready and thirsty, and like it might be like the main, you know, masses of like the, you know, inner suburban or inner city kids who just are subject to, you know, the television and mainstream media, who might, you know, not quite catch on or like get it right now. But there have been so many like people that we've met like through the Coachella Festival, even like the different cities, and just meeting, you know, the string cheese incident that was just here in Flagstaff, and like just like the young minds that are so just like there and ready for like the next big wave and the next thing to happen and the next movement. And like really, like for me personally, that is one of the main reasons why I wanted to do the walk. And I think we all kind of have like a main purpose of what the walk is, but individually we might like have, you know, our own, you know, personal thing, what we want it to be for ourselves. But like for me, you know, like to just start that movement or spark that, you know, that flame within, like, you know, the young people and everyone, you know, who feels the same way, and just to try and create that you know, togetherness and unite, really, which is kind of what the United Souls of Awareness are all about and are trying to provide through the Illumination Network. So.
Yeah, it seems like one of the most valuable things that we can do is inspire other people, and that's pretty much all you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So, you guys are an inspiration to me and all the rest of us. So, appreciate you coming by. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Right on, guys.
Conscious Media Network.
Hey, what's up? This is K2.
Yo, this is Jordan Chaos.
Hey, this is Johnny Blanco.
This is Cam Campaign.
And I'm Derek, and we are
The United Souls of Awareness. Check us out, theillumination.tv.
TV.